How did a great civilization that thrived for thousands of years suddenly disappear? What is the mystery behind the fall of the Indus Valley? Let's uncover the truth. The Indus Valley Civilization's rise. For millennia, the history of humanity has been dominated by great civilizations: Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Mayans, and so on. But of all of them, one of the most sophisticated and enigmatic civilizations was the Indus Valley Civilization. Emerging around 3300 BCE, this ancient society flourished in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. With its well-planned cities, advanced drainage systems, and remarkable trade networks, it was far ahead of its time. Unlike other ancient civilizations, the Indus Valley people built massive cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro without huge palaces, temples, or statues of kings. Instead, they focused on urban planning, cleanliness, and trade. But for all its greatness, the Indus Valley Civilization simply disappeared around 1900 BC. There are no accounts of great wars, killing invasions, or natural catastrophes. So what actually occurred? Was it an instantaneous environmental catastrophe? A lethal epidemic? Or something even more enigmatic? Let's plunge deep into history and dig up the secrets of the disappearance of one of the world's greatest old civilizations. The Indus Valley's advanced cities. Perhaps the most intriguing thing about the Indus Valley Civilization was its extremely advanced urban planning. In contrast to many other ancient civilizations, the inhabitants of the Indus Valley constructed well-planned cities with great precision. Consider Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, two of the larger cities of this civilization. Their roads were designed in a beautiful grid pattern, something that modern cities picked up only thousands of years later. These cities boasted multi-story buildings, constructed using uniform-sized bricks, which implies a standardized building system throughout the region. But what really made them stand out was their sanitation system. While most ancient civilizations had no proper drainage, the Indus folks created covered underground sewage systems and indoor toilets in their houses. Water coursed through channels, carrying waste out of the city, a degree of cleanliness way ahead of its time. They also possessed public wells and big water reservoirs, so the whole city had access to clean water. One of the most renowned buildings is the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro. Was it for ritual cleansing or neighborhood gatherings? Perhaps we'll never know for certain. But who built these cities? Who ruled them? Interestingly, unlike other civilizations, there is no trace of kings, palaces, or temples. The Indus people appear to have an egalitarian society, with no one ruler in charge. This poses an important question. How did such a developed civilization exist without a central ruler or government? As we venture deeper, we learn more secrets. Not only about their lifestyle, but also how they vanished mysteriously. The enigmatic Indus script and trade networks. One of the greatest enigmas of the Indus Valley Civilization is its still undeciphered script. In contrast to the ancient Egyptians, who left us hieroglyphics that scholars were finally able to decipher, the Indus folk employed a special writing system that is still unsolved today. Archaeologists have found more than 4,000 inscriptions, of which most are scratched on seals, pottery, and tablets. They contain animal, human-like, and abstract symbols, but nobody has been able to decipher their meaning. Were these records of commerce, laws, or religious texts? Or was it just a system of identification marks? The largest challenge is that there are no lengthy texts, just brief inscriptions with 5 or 6 symbols. Unlike Egyptian hieroglyphs or Mesopotamian cuneiform, we do not have a Rosetta Stone to decipher this vanished language. Until we break the Indus script, secrets of this civilization will forever be out of our reach. But although their texts are unknown to us, their trade networks do reveal a lot about their power. The Indus civilization was not in solitude. They exchanged goods with Mesopotamia, Persia, and Central Asia. Indus seals have been discovered by archaeologists in Iraq, implying that items such as cotton, beads, and precious stones were traded for luxury goods and metals. This vast network of trade is the proof that people of the Indus Valley were great merchants and craftsmen and were part of the world like we are discovering only now. But all this flourishing trade relation suddenly came tumbling down at about 1900 BCE. Cities were vacated, roads of trade lost, and this great civilization began to disappear. What was behind this abrupt destruction? Was there a natural catastrophe, a disease that killed thousands, or was it an invasion? Theories behind the enigmatic disappearance. The Indus Valley Civilization flourished for more than 2,000 years, but around 1900 BCE, something shifted. Cities were left behind, trade networks failed, and the great civilization vanished without a clue. Historians and archaeologists have put forth a number of theories about why it happened. Climate change and the drying of the Saraswati River. One of the best theories is that climate change had a huge impact. Old texts speak of a powerful river known as the Saraswati, which is thought to have run through the Indus. Scientists believe that this river started to dry up as a result of changing monsoons or tectonic shifts, resulting in extreme droughts. Without a stable water source, agriculture failed, food became scarce, and people may have been forced to migrate in search of better conditions. Floods and natural disasters. Alternatively, there are also some scientists who think that rather than drought, the area could have experienced catastrophic floods. The Indus Valley was subject to seasonal monsoons and flooding of the rivers. If the floods were too intense, they would have destroyed farmlands and cities, and humans could not have survived. A deadly epidemic. It might have been the case that some disastrous disease annihilated extensive segments of the populace. In congested urban settlements, such as Mohenjo-Daro, with thousands packed close together, plague or epidemic easily could have taken its toll quickly. Invasion by the Aryans. Some historians think the Indus Valley was invaded by Indo-Aryan tribes around 1500 BCE. But there is very little evidence for a big war or devastation. If there were an invasion at all, it was probably a gradual and non-violent process, with settlers moving in and living among those who remained behind. Even considering these theories, there is no one neat explanation for what occurred. Could it have been a mix of climate change, natural disasters, disease, and migration? The Indus Valley Civilization legacy. Although the Indus Valley Civilization vanished thousands of years ago, its legacy is still visible today. Their grid-patterned streets and sophisticated drainage systems look like they belong to modern cities. Some of the religious symbols in Indus artifacts indicate a link to subsequent Hindu practices. The Indus people were the first in the world to cultivate and spin cotton. To this day, South Asia is still a world center for cotton production. The Indus Valley Civilization is still one of the biggest mysteries in history. Unlike the Egyptians, they left no great pyramids or huge temples. Unlike the Mesopotamians, their writing is still not deciphered. But their impact is undeniable. Maybe, someday in the future, some new finds will finally uncover the real history of the Indus Valley Civilization. Until that time, their secrets keep fascinating historians, archaeologists, and explorers everywhere. And so, the Indus Valley Civilization remains one of history's biggest enigmas. A civilization that flourished for thousands of years, developed great cities, and excelled in trade, yet dissolved without leaving behind a clear account. Even to this day, archaeologists are unearthing new secrets, and maybe one day we will finally know what really happened to this lost civilization. But until then, the enigma continues to captivate and motivate. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more secret histories and ancient mysteries. Let me know in the comments, what do you think led to the decline of the Indus Valley Civilization? Your ideas may be the key to unlocking this mystery. Don't forget to subscribe for more enthralling history adventures. Until next time, see you in the next video.